Okay guys, it's Monday the 11th of February and we are on the DAX today. So, just been triggered into a long position after this 9:30 a.m. pin bar that we've had on this market. So as always with the live trade, what I'm going to do is talk you through the analysis behind the trade. I'm then going to, as the trade unfolds, I'll talk you through sort of trade management. I'll try and explain to you what it is that I'm looking at, any decisions that I'm making. I'll try and give you the reasons behind why I'm doing what it is that I am doing. So first thing on the DAX is I missed a fairly perfect entry today at 8:15. I wasn't watching the chart. I didn't see it setting up. It set up absolutely perfectly and we got an absolutely enormous movement off of this market. So frustrating, but it is what it is. So missed this one. Markets then made a huge move up. We broke above this 10,988 zone, which I was initially looking for or looking at as resistance. And above here, I wanted to be a little bit more cautious on potential buys. Markets broke up straight up above this zone, sort of hovered, and then we just came all the way back down. Now, as we've came back down, we have instantly found support in this zone. So potentially, we're looking at the market creating structure here, breaking out, seeing a pullback for potential bullish continuation. With this one, what I'm looking at is in terms of, okay, so on the 5-minute chart, I've already done the analysis on the daily time frame coming into the market. So I'm thinking coming into the market, okay, area of resistance, a little bit more cautious on buys. So a little bit more cautious on buys, we've had the pullback. I'm looking at where are the potential resistance levels on this chart on the 5-minute time frame now that's going to potentially hold this trade back. And I'm looking at it, nice pullback, pin bar. Really, it's all the way back up into these levels. So it's giving the trade room to potentially move. Now we are holding at this 11,000 round number, but the way we've broken up, the way we've pulled back, I'm sort of looking at that as a little bit of a confluence at present in favor of the trade. Broken up above, pulled back into that round number, 11,000, found a little bit of support. Yeah, potentially a good sign of further bullish. Now, if we do see the market pressing up, I basically want to be quite cautious with it. So, I mean, if we start getting up into the R1 level at around about 11,013, that's pretty much when I'll be looking to get my stop to break even. I don't want to just blindly hold on to this one. The reason for that being, as I've mentioned, a little bit more cautious on buys up here because we are sort of pulling back into structure on the daily time frame. And what I'll do is when the trade completes one way or the other, or if I can get my stop to break even, I'll then jump onto the daily time frame and we'll run through what it was I was looking at on this daily time frame. But yeah, huge move up on the 5-minute off of key support. We've had a nice pullback into that round number 11,000, instantly found support, nice clean potential run on the 5-minute time frame until we hit into resistance. So lots of things we're going for the trade. What I'm going to do, as always, is, especially as we're hovering around here, I'll pause the video. If we start to break up, which looks like we might be doing, toward the level where I'll get my stop at break even, I'll turn it back on. If we start to fall back toward the stop level, I'll also turn the video back on and we'll have a look at what is going on. Okay, so stop is now at break even. Relatively tight for getting the stop to break even on the DAX. It can be a fairly choppy market, but I want to protect the trade now that we've pressed up toward that R1 level. As I've mentioned, more cautious on buys from this area. So even if it comes back and takes me out of break even and then takes off, I'd rather protect the trade at a sensible level. Now, if we can get up to around about, where are we at? Around about 14 points, I'd be happy to then close in half profit. So that would be as we basically start to retest into the previous swing point, which is sitting just here. But hovering at this R1, potential for a spike down and taking me out at break even. If that's the case, that's the case. I'll just then move on to looking for another setup. So let's see how we get on. I will pause the video, turn it back on if we start to move one way or the other. Okay, so I've just closed out 50%. We were sitting just under £600 in profit, so that's locked in around about £300 of profit. So what it means now is if the market comes back and hits my break-even level, I still get out of the trade with that £300. And then what I'm going to do is basically I'm just going to watch and see if we start to get nice bullish momentum in the DAX. And if we do, I'll hold on to the trade until we start to stall. And then when we start to stall, I'll look to lock in the remainder of the profits. But if we go on to the daily time frame quickly, so what I was looking at was a couple of things coming into today on the DAX. The first one was that potentially, or not potentially, we have broken down below a trend line. Let me actually draw it in so you can see. So it's not exact to be using this as your trend line. I'm just putting it in roughly. So you can see the market holding. We've then broken down below, so the market was looking a little bit more bearish. However, we'd started to pull back toward key support. Yeah, really good levels for potential bullish bounces down here. So as soon as we seen them, or as soon as I seen the market coming down, I was happy to look for potential buys. And today's continuation was basically if we started breaking up above this swing point, it opens up another bounce up toward this spike down from the 31st of January. So now I've locked in half profits. I'm basically watching to see if we see the bulls stepping in and forcing this market higher. But cautious on buys at this area, so we'll see how we get on. Okay, so I've now closed out the remainder of the trade, around about another £200. I was hoping for some more on the DAX. I was hoping for it to press up a little bit higher, but strong rejection coming in. Best move. Close out, take the profits. Yeah, still a nice trade. Entry after the 9:30 a.m. We just found too much resistance at 11:32 for me, but especially on the DAX, what I have found is that with some of the trades, so this one, for example, if I hadn't missed it, you can get huge movements by allowing it a little bit of wiggle room. So I'm a lot more sort of open to holding on to the trades a little bit longer and giving back a little bit of profit on some of the entries for gaining a lot of the profits on other entries. But yeah, okay, so that's the trade for the day. As always, guys, I hope that was helpful. I hope you're all having a good trading week. I'm James Orr, and thank you.